my stories to all my family. A borrowing. I've had 6 guys, big beefy guys at my door. I've had my own family at my door.
Yes, yeah. You don't have a name, do you?
Good. You look very pink-bladed today. I'm impressed. I bought these.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I don't got attachments to it. Oh no. The guy let out his garden, opened his garden gate.
There's a lot to
Big thing like that compared to my terrier. What do you got? Full terrier. Oh, it's a no, it's a kid. How is it? Yes, he registered. Yeah, we've thought about bringing him. It's one of those, it'd be too much, do you know what I mean? It's like too much going on. You got I'm good at it. I was a bit disappointed in the way she didn't go. She's got a bit too with the ethno and that stuff.
No.
Well, we were watching it. Cameras were there, and he was watching the speeches at the end. And I said to him, it's ethno rats are not me at all. That's not what I'm about. No. I think the problem with somebody like him now, who's been bounced about for so long, now he's got a bit of power and people are starting to, because people are frustrated, upset, and frightened and all that sort of stuff. They'll be getting a little bit of power now. Yeah, that'll be where that attitude's coming from. Yeah, no. Yeah. So it's going to cost my so you're still going to do it in front of you? Yeah. Well, these 2 parts.
In front of the posters, yeah?
Or in front of the lamppost?
Yeah. Posters, lamppost. Right, you do it here. Doing it there? Yeah.
People just want to set up. Yeah. I don't think you can keep people interested in that.
No, I don't really. I really went on to them today and
I
hope. Say that was for me, and now we're going to do it. You need to be vet first. You know why? And I didn't say yeah. It's not even like
If you don't want to join us,
no. And then the doctor said we got to get the spot 5 persons from Yorkshire.
whether restore fails or not.
And there's none available for me. But they've got 8 available for other people, but not available. So now I'm going to have to get a spin all the way to England on my own. I don't want to. No.
I'd like to go down with my back. I can't do it. I have to do myself a bit. I go just to watch things and the whole day of it.
Whether they're going to come after not
And the store will merge.
Almost like every day mowing. So, yeah.
You alright, mate?
How's it going? You good?
Yeah, glad you came today.
Ah,
I thought you'd have been at the UKIP one in Leeds. This is more important, isn't it?
yes, I went in Leeds as well.
There's 3 demos in Leeds today.
Wow.
Pro Polly's, the left is smelly flat, and seafood. Gonna be carnage.
Yeah,
I live in Leeds, you know.
they tend to plan those around ours.
But I can't understand why nobody is going for if the shower in a bottle.
Well, I was just saying, I think reform, as they grow, I'm sure they'll get involved with all of this stuff. Well, I hope so anyway.
I don't trust Farage, I'll be honest.
Restore, not reform. I don't trust Farage. Farage is a snake.
No matter what party Farage sets up, he's not.
Yeah.
But you
As soon as things don't go his way, he just bows out.
look at you.
I'm looking forward to seeing it again, hopefully. I'm thinking that as Restore grows, the percentage of the boat show grows, and his starts to shrink, I think he's just going to bow out.
Beach stores.
So I've spoken to one of my mates, he was born in Germany, parents are English, he's moved back there. Talking to him about this, and he said it's kind of dicey for political parties to get involved in street movements like that. It's one thing, he's really well educated, really smart. He was saying like it's one thing for them to kind of say we support this and we acknowledge it and we back it. He said it's another thing if a political party starts to organise street movements. Because to a lot of people, like a more middle class and say, people, they see it as rubbish. No,
Hi everyone.
I agree with that, but I'm not middle class.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I can't even work because I've got 57 disabilities.
Every dream we're holding inside, we're gonna pull it to the sky. Let's show the world what we've got. Every heartbeat, every fight, all the power we try to hide. We're gonna bring it to the
I won't.
Let's show the world what we've got. All our beauty, all our fire. Every dream we're holding inside. We're gonna pull it to the sky. Let's show the world what we've got. Every heartbeat, every fight. All that power we try to hide. We're gonna bring it to the light. Turning every little no into flames. Let's show the world what we've got. All our beauty, all our fire. Every dream we're holding inside. We're gonna pull it to the sky. Let's show the world what we've got. Every heartbeat, every fight. All that power inside. We're gonna bring it to the light.
real golden hearts. There's no need to go around and doing what Charlie does. Charlie's a bit
Hi everyone, how are you? I'll just change my glasses. That's it. Hey, Danny!
I've been working at the building site.
Hi everyone. What's he doing, Erica? He's doing the Parents Against Groomers, so it's all survivors doing their stories today. Hi, hello Ranger, how are you? Hi Ken, are you alright? How's everyone today? I'm representing the Pink Ladies today. Nice to meet you, mate. Just show you around now, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my girls are here! How are we doing, Pink Lady? You okay, darling?
Well, I don't know if you on my app.
I'm alright, apart from having death. I've had guys up the house.
I'm good. Are you okay?
We've got Ashley from Britain First, and we've got Louise Alderbrook, we've got Nick.
Sitting down. Right. I called you Mel then, didn't I?
I've been called worse. Me.
Oh, Lord Almighty.
Yeah,
As I'm I just went on she didn't see what like a joke really fancy ass clothes like yeah. In Wakefield. Different section now where you can have like 2 or 3 days instead of like a whole day. You don't have to wait for I watched that on their lives. You doing it?
Can you hear me? Ginger.
Ginger Ninja! We've got MKR here as well. We've got
Liam didn't make it then, no.
Ashley from Britain First.
I know, so he said, I've got a copy of bringing like, fine, Louise has got one in her car.
Probably best not.
What a lovely day, guys. So, again, do you want to all come towards and all come in so we can all make it look like there's more of us?
There's always more of us than it's ever.
In you come, guys. First and foremost, I wanted to say a big thank you for turning out today, guys. Again, the weather's lovely. The numbers could be better, but it is what it is. We're all here for the same reason, and that's to make a stand against the children. There's nothing funny about this, my mate. There's nothing funny about what we're talking about. Take the smile off your face, because it's not a funny event.
Who's laughing?
We're talking about the abuse of children. There's nothing to smile about. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Billy Hove. I'm the founder of Approach Against Grooming UK. For the last 20 years, I've been combating the abuse of children all across the UK. I am myself from Rochdale. Rochdale was a severe town that was affected by the abuse of children. Started with a guy called Cyril Smith, who came to Rochdale to set up his school and start abusing my brother and their friends. It happened for over 40 years where he was abusing young boys from Norbury School. To this day, after hundreds of boys have been abused, not one person has been held to account. I can't leave that alone. I can't walk away. I can't make my fight about one cause. This is about all abuses of children. This is why we're putting down the Northern Tour. Is everyone cameras all right? The Northern Tour is about raising awareness and about preventing this from being another generation ruined by the abuse of our children. So this is why we're making stands in town centres all across the north of England, soon to be the south as well. The numbers need to be bigger, I get it, but we're here, and it's not about quantity, it's about the quality of people. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for each and every one of you here today. Thank you. I want a special mention for two people, Andy and Teresa, who come all the way. I can't find them. But Andrew, I've got a message from you from our friend Tony. He said, thank you. He's humbled that you come 150 miles to come and stand with us. That is amazing. We love you, and we're very humbled that you're here today, and I want to thank you for you. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Teresa. So, guys, we're going to get moving quick.
I don't know how fucking difficult that must be, but you're a fucking legend.
Yeah.
Smash it.
When you hit in the beans, you don't know which bean made you fart, mate. You nearly fell over as well, that'd have been funny. Right, guys, so yeah, regardless of outside noise, we're not here for them. We're here to stand against the abuse of children. That's all that matters. So I'm going to bring my first speaker up. But before I do, I want to speak a little bit about the man who I'm going to bring up to speak. The man has made a stand against children for years. This is why we liaise with the police to prevent this, and this is why. Where are the police?
We've got the pink ladies here as well, ladies and gentlemen.
Guys, I do have to put you on hold 1 second, sorry.
See you, these ladies and gentlemen.
So, guys, there's no one more important today than the person stood in front of you speaking. That happens when one of the survivors, I'm all right, I'm used to I'm long in the tooth in this. But if there's a survivor stood here talking to you, you've got to ignore that, and you've got to focus on the survivor. It's not easy to stand in front of you guys and speak, especially as big as this. That's a beautiful building, by the way. Bolton's a beautiful place. It's worth saving, and it's only going to be us who save us. Ladies and gentlemen, the state has failed our children. We are the last line of defence. I keep saying it, but it's true. We are the last line of defence because no one else is going to protect our children other than us. If we all give up and go home, they've got nobody. They have nobody. So I'm going to make a stand with Mac UK, with the Pink Ladies, and with anyone else that wants to join us in this march forward. So again, I'm going to get back to our first speaker, who stood as a Greater Manchester Police and Crime Commissioner. There's nobody in this world that wanted to win an election more than he, because if he hadn't won, we'd have had an inquiry 2 years ago, I'd say. But it's also his birthday. So we're going to give him an happy birthday when he comes home. So Nick Buckley, please come to the mic. And everybody, happy birthday.
Birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday! Happy birthday to you! Hey!
If I knew that was going to happen, I wouldn't have come.
Oh, don't be silly.
Thank you, everybody. As Billy said, my name's Nick Buckley. I stood for Mayor of Greater Manchester a couple of years ago against Andy Burnham for the second time. Obviously didn't win. But if I had have won, I was going to hold Greater Manchester Police to account. Because that's one of the only things the Mayor can really do. He's in charge of Greater Manchester Police. The only person he can sack is the Chief Constable.
Thank you for all my likes, ladies and gentlemen. Love you all.
To get to the bottom of what went on. We would have the full public inquiry with survivors and other people sat on the committee looking at the police, looking at the reports. That's the only way we're ever going to deal with this, is to ensure finally we get people to be held accountable. I mean, I've said this for years. I want senior police officers in the dock. I want senior politicians and local councillors in the dock. I want council managers in the dock. They may not be guilty, but you know what? I want barristers asking them questions and holding them accountable. And let's get to the truth. And if they ignored what went on, or they turned a blind eye, or they were involved, because some of these people, it's quite disheartening when you think we're talking about our children. But I get it. I do get why people can't always turn up.
Parents against
But
groomers.
we need to educate more people about what's going on. And this report is not going to fall on deaf ears. This report from the government will backfire on them. And eventually, maybe not the next general election, but eventually we will get a decent government. It's just waiting for it. I'm not sure when that's coming. I'm not sure who that government's going to be. I can tell you, it's this party, that party. Because up to now, let's be honest, every party, every single one of them. So just me saying this party's going to be better, we don't know until they're better. Because this corrupts people, wanting votes and wanting to keep the status quo corrupts people. So whoever gets into power will be corrupted. But eventually, Sod's Law tells us we're going to get a decent government one day, and they're going to look into this. And when they do, we may get justice. We may get the people.
You should have called him George.
Yeah, we said that.
Questions.
Honestly, if I had a kid and it
Where's
was
all the information gone? Why is it all been deleted? I worked for council for 10 years. We delete nothing. Nothing. You may delete an email, but it's all backed up on servers. Everything's electronic. Nothing is ever deleted unless someone higher up wants it deleted. Now, who gave that instruction? That's what we're up against. But don't be disheartened. We're winning this fight. 20 years ago, I'd have said, let's try to win this fight. But we are winning this fight. Everything's on our side. The people on our side. We've got social media now. That is such a blessing to nobody's life. We can reach people. We don't have to rely on the mainstream press. We don't have to rely on institutions to get our message out. We can do it ourselves. And that's what these events are about. It's not about the 70 people, 100 people here today, because you all agree, you all want change. It's about you leaving here today, talking to your family and friends, and talking about what's going on, sharing it on social media, trying to increase that reach. That's our job in this fight. That's our job. The more people know about it, the harder it is for the politicians in the establishment to carry on this cover-up for votes, for convenience, for their pensions, for an easy life.
No, that's for this. That's for what they're standing for. This is for security for your kids. So that's what it's about. Read that, and then you sign up to them. And if your missus wants to join, Pink Lady, UK Movement, I'll jump on Facebook page. And I'm doing a legal one as well, so I'll be doing one there. What's going on as well? So I'll be going to alright. Hello, baby. Hello, baby. Come on. Here you go. Oh, big paper.
Favours illegal, but that doesn't mean it was moral. Doing favours for money by campaigning for different groups, campaigning for businesses. The only people our politicians should be campaigning for are the people who vote for them, the people in their area who have a legal entitlement to vote. They're the people that should be campaigning for all the time. And our job as citizens, our job as voters, is to make sure they uphold their part of the deal. That will carry on voting and not turn to violence if you do your job. But we're getting to a stage where that's not working. And I pray to God we can get it working again. Otherwise, we're all in deep trouble. But let me end on this. I'm here for all our children. All our children. I don't care who those children are. I don't care what those children have done. I just want to protect all our children, because a nation that doesn't do that is a dying nation. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Nick Buckley.
That's all they want, Nick.
properly in this city. Sorry, I do it all the time.
All right, guys, so we have had a few speakers let us down, but why Bolton? Why are we here today? Well, the ones from Oldham, like Dougie, Dougie will know I've stood with this man in Oldham, with the people of Oldham, on the same issues from in Rochdale, where the abuse of children was irrelevant. And one of the main councillors at the time, by the name of Sean Fielding, told us it was a whole pack of lies. I've come to Bolton for one reason only, and I'm going to bring my next speaker on, Sammy, because she's going to tell you exactly why we're here in Bolton today. Because we're not just here, so is Fielding, ladies and gentlemen, as a member of your council. So I'm going to tell you exactly what he's done.
So we're here today because it's a difficult topic to talk about, which is child abuse, which is grooming gangs. And every year we have a scandal, don't we? Every year there's something else that's come up in the media that's been hidden from us. So we're here today to help survivors have a platform to speak, to share their stories, and for campaigners to come up and tell you what has been going on in this country. And it's not just been since the grooming gangs. Child abuse has happened in this country for decades and decades, and nothing ever gets done, does it? They spend millions of pounds a year on inquiries to every scandal that comes out. And all it really is writing on the piece of paper, because they never implement the recommendations that they come up with. These reports are about
If you haven't done already, can you subscribe, like and comment, please? It's costing nothing. I don't charge for my channel.
Needed in this country. Because if we don't, another scandal is going to happen next year and the year after. And they're children, for goodness sake. They're your children. They're our children. And the governments don't seem to care, because they only react after a crisis has happened. So what I want to see as a campaigner with Billy is real change. And I want real responsibility. I want these people held to account. We have an MP in Bolton that moved from Oldham. His name is Sean Fielding. Some of you may know him. Sean Fielding left Oldham under a cloud because of the absolute failures that happened there. And what Sean Fielding used to do to silence the campaigners and the survivors is have them removed from council meetings. And that man now sits on as an MP in Bolton. And we are voting for these people. Nothing ever happens to them. They are not held to account for their failures. These people take our money in their wages and they do nothing. They are just moved from town and city, and that's all that happens to them.
Lock him up! Get him out.
We do need to lock him up. But Sean Fielding is just one of many MPs and councillors that covered this up all over northern towns, all over the towns in this country, full stop. We've just seen recently another scandal coming out in Wales with the grooming gangs. Now that is going to be a massive story when it actually does break. We have a court case that's been stopped and the jury have been dismissed for little Preston Davies. I don't know how many of you have heard of that little boy. He was 13 months old and he was raped repeatedly and murdered by foster parents who were applying to become his adoptive parents. In Bolton, yeah, in Bolton, was it Sean Fielding? No. You see, and this happens all over, doesn't it? These people just get moved around to create more scandal everywhere else, to hide it. Grooming gangs, and I'm going to be honest, the vast majority of the predators within the grooming gangs were Pakistani Muslim men. And I don't really care what anybody says about me. when I talk about this, because I am not a far-right person. I am a concerned parent. I'm a concerned citizen. And we need to talk about it. We need to stop being fearful of what they can do to us and the labels that they give us. Because during those inquiries, they were labelling the actual victims. They were labelling them as child prostitutes. They were saying that these children made a lifestyle choice. These children were abused by Pakistani Muslim men, and that need to stop. We already had a major problem in this country with child abuse throughout the decades. It's well documented. We didn't need to import these people to carry on the issues that we had. As a campaigner, and has only recently been through Billy that I've had a voice, I want to see real change in this country. Not just words, not just standing up here demo after demo. I actually want them to invest the money that they spend in these inquiries after the fact. I want them to spend the money in the actual prevention, the actual first stage where a child is at risk. I don't want it to escalate before our governments step in and try to be the fucking heroes. I want them to do it before the children get hurt. And I'm sorry for swearing, but I am just, every time we stand up here, people say that they're coming to these demos. We've handed out 1,500 leaflets for this demo, and where is everybody? You all say you care about your children. You all say you want a better future for your children, and yet where are you? Where are you when we're speaking out for your children?
Yeah.
Change is only going to come with us. Change is only going to come with us. We can't wait and we cannot rely on governments, because Conservative governments and Labour governments do not care about your children. So we have to stand up now. We have to take responsibility as society, because that's how societies are judged. They are judged on how you protect your vulnerable. And on that measure, as a society, we are failing.
I don't often speak. I saw a case today. John Ashby sentenced to life with a minimum of 14 years for rape incited by racial hatred, as he was wrongly targeted a Sikh woman because he thought she was Muslim. Now, I welcome a life sentence, although that should mean life, not 14 years. Yeah? However, I don't recall many life sentences being given out Muslim rape gangs. I don't remember life sentence being given out to people who gang rape children and often call them white slaves.
Keep on.
But what I'm saying is that raping children or women, it shouldn't be based on colour and what your sentence is. If you're raping children and women, you need to go to the gallows, as far as I'm concerned.
Yay!
Right? And the only people who made this a race issue were the government covering it up because they were raped. If they'd have done the job in the first place, we wouldn't have heard of Tommy Robinson. We wouldn't be stood here today. They should all be locked up or sentenced to death.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Chris Buckley. Chris Buckley. Chris Burrow, ladies and gentlemen. So, the next speaker I'm going to bring on, guys, he's going to be an eye-opener for some of you might have already seen this lad, but this lad is one of the bravest people I know. He's standing in a platform alien to him because he's new to doing this. So, I want you to bear with him. I want you to show him some massive support. Please give a warm welcome to Nadeem.
Come on, lad! Last one!
I want to begin by asking you to remember what it feels like to be a child, small, hopeful, eager to belong, because before anything else, before labels, headlines, before arguments about race or community or religion, I was a child. In 1993, when I was 12 years old, I was sent from my home in Oldham to Pakistan to study Hifz at a madrasa. I was one of the youngest there, thousands of miles away from everything familiar. I didn't speak the language fluently. I didn't understand the culture fully. And I didn't understand the danger. Like any child in a new and frightening place, I wanted acceptance. I wanted to feel safe. I wanted to belong. And at first, I thought I had found that. A group of older boys and men noticed me. They were kind. They walked with me. They brought me small drinks, a coke from the shop, 10 rupees here and there. To a 12-year-old boy alone in the world, that felt like friendship, like protection, like family, but it wasn't. Because slowly, quietly, the boundaries began to change. The friendliness turned into proximity. The joking turned into touching. The touching turned into control. And before I even had the words to understand what was happening, it became abuse. There was 9 of them. 9 individuals who saw vulnerability and chose to exploit it. I did not understand sex. I did not understand consent. I only understood fear. I remember freezing. I remember disgust. I remember being terrified, not just of what they were doing, but of what would happen if I told anyone. They made that clear. Do not tell anyone. You will get into trouble. The principal is strict. You are all the way from UK. They groomed me, passed me on to one another, and abused me repeatedly over 2 years. One raped me 3 times in my first year. Others once or twice. Each one covered the window with cloth so no one could see. I was 12, then 13, then 14. I didn't even have the language for what was happening, only the knowledge that I felt wrong and that I was trapped. One day, another student witnessed an incident and told a tutor. For the first time, I thought maybe I would be protected. Instead, I was threatened. I was told, "Why did you not tell anyone? I will deal with them later. But first, I will punish you." Let me say that again clearly. The child who was abused was punished. I was taken to the principal. I was blamed. And my own relative was instructed to discipline me, to make me do something called murga, a humiliating punishment. I remember thinking, I'm the victim. Why am I being punished? But as a child, you believe what authority tells you. I believed I was the problem. I believed silence was survival. Some of my abusers were punished quietly, away from scrutiny. Others were allowed to walk free. After warning me not to mention their names, no police were called, no records were made. The institution protected its image. I returned to England in 1995 at 14 years old with one instruction echoing in my head: do not tell anyone. But silence didn't protect me. Within days, rumors began to spread. A former student talked, word traveled, and suddenly what had been done to me became something done about me. For years, the bullying was relentless. Children and adults mocked me. They used the name of my abusers as insults. They made obscene gestures. I was laughed at in the street, in school, even within my own family. I was treated as though I had done something shameful, not the men who abused me. When I was 15, an older man called me over from his car near a mosque. He grabbed my hand and said, "I heard about you. Can I do that to you? Whatever they did, can I do it too?" I managed to get away, but the message was clear. My vulnerability has been marked. The trauma did not stay in the past. It followed me into adulthood, into my relationships, my marriage, my sense of worth. I struggled with trust, with anger, with intrusive memories, with nights where sleep never came. For decades, I suppressed. I told myself it didn't happen. I tried to be strong. I tried to carry on until one day, sitting on my phone, I came across a video about grooming gangs, and my body started shaking uncontrollably. In 2017, I read about Rotherham and Oldham, the patterns, grooming, passing victims on, threats, silence, something clicked. These weren't just stories, they were my life. Everything I had buried for 30 years came flooding back. I discovered that 3 of my abusers had been living in the UK for decades, working as imams, 2 in Oldham and 1 in Stoke-on-Trent. I had also seen a 4th perpetrator in the UK twice, once in the street and once at a wedding, but heard he had been deported due to sexual assault. A few years later, I started worrying about the safety of my own daughter. She told me she was being stalked on the bus. The final catalyst came in August 2024, when my sister-in-law, who had endured years of bullying due to the fact she couldn't have children, took her own life by setting herself alight in her garden. She burnt herself alive, and the only person who understood it was me, because I was suffering mentally too. When she took her own life, it just gave me a bit of fire that came inside me, and I said to myself, "Nad, isn't it time that you open up about what happened to you all these years ago?" And I did, and I started telling everyone. I told my wife, my family, I put up a Facebook post. I was scared, but I just thought, I'm doing it. In June 2025, with the help of safeguarding officers from my college, my children's school, and We Are Survivors, a support group for male survivors, I went to Oldham Police Station and reported the abuse, naming the 3 abusers who were living in the UK during a 3-hour interview. One perpetrator was arrested in July, but was released without charge. With Greater Manchester Police telling me they couldn't charge him because the offence took place before 1996 in a foreign country. The local authority designated Officer Lado from my children's school restricted the man from mosques and from being around children. Yet during Eid, which took place last month, I saw posters advertising the man was speaking at a local mosque. Police said they could not trace the other 2 men, even though I had told them their names and where they lived. In anger,